Welcome to another Market Matters video update. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of May. The market's ripping at the moment. We are up well above 7,100. Seems like markets put away the selling May and go away a call for the moment at least as we approach the end of May. We're going to talk about a couple of things that excite us today, a couple of different things from two sides of the spectrum today. James has got something new for me here. I'm going to learn it just as soon as you do. So James, take us away. What's exciting you in the market?
I don't, mate. A lot of things excite me in the market. So it was trying to nut down or highlight the areas that excite me. Aside from that, I learnt today that you're playing netball, which is it's an interesting choice of sport, but mixed netball seems about your style. So
pretty exciting, that, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well done for that. In terms of the market, I think what we're seeing is a lot of movement around the sectors and a lot of movement in terms of stocks. So I think from a sector picking, stock picking perspective, I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. We've been reasonably active in our portfolios in the last couple of days. So I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. You touched on the sell in May, go away thematic. We did get a pullback in the market, and it's rallied since. It was a light pullback. It was near the 3%, not significant. But across the sectors, it was more. So if you look at things like BH, but the miners, etc., they've pulled back more than that. So that's one thing, the dynamics playing out in the market. CBA hit $100 today. That's another thing I'm excited about, Harry. That's our biggest position in the income portfolio as well as the flagship growth portfolio. So that put a smile on my face this morning. Gold punched up through 1,900 an ounce. We've obviously been bullish gold. I did a video back with Peter O'Connor when it was trading sub 1,700 and sort of set out the thesis that it should come up to this 1,900 an area. So excited about that. What else am I excited about? A couple of the new positions in the portfolio. Hub's finally doing pretty well. I'm excited about the price we bought car sales at the other day. I think that shows sort of how we go. We got a short-term opportunity associated with a capital raise, and then we took advantage of that. So that excites me. And Altium. So that brings in the last thing I'm excited about is the podcast series that we're doing. So 6 stocks, talking to 6 analysts over a 6-week period. We're highlighting some why has done well after we highlighted that stock. I think Altium will do well. I think that's a stock that goes higher. So we've got another 4 stocks. We might have a couple of extra if we squeeze a few extra episodes in. But that's getting a fair amount of traction, and I'm excited to sort of speak to analysts in a little bit more in-depth way around stocks, Harry. But more importantly, mate, aside from netball, what are you excited about this week?
We've had a lot of talk about energy, how we're keeping an eye on oil exposure. Today we're stepping up. We're buying something a little bit outside of the traditional oil and gas energy names. We're going to buy Paladin Energy in the emerging companies portfolio at the moment.
You're paying up for it.
We're paying up for it. We adjusted our buy call on that one. It's been a bit sticky above 50 cents. It's time to take a small position in that one.
When we was talking about this position and putting it into the portfolio, just to give you some context around this, it was trading around the 40-cent mark.
Give or take.
We put a limit order on there at 38 cents. So I asked Harry the question, are we being a dick for a tick here? Should we just buy it and pay up for it? And that was, we often don't use these really hard set limits. We did in that instance, and the stocks ripped ahead, but that's fine, mate.
I think this one will play out to the upside. Uranium's pretty constructive at the moment. We've seen Peninsula Energy, PEN, raising money today to buy physical uranium. So uranium stock thinks that physical uranium's cheap. They're going to go buy some to have on their balance sheet. Elsewhere in that sort of smaller cap energy space as well, we're keeping an eye on lithium. We sold Orocobra probably a little bit too early in the emerging companies portfolio as well, but that's really pulled back to around about where we sold it. I'm not going to be looking at that one at the moment. They're under a merger at the moment that's going to play out, and we think it's not time to be there just yet, but we are looking at PLL and PLS. So they're 2 smaller cap lithium names. We've had Rio this week talking about their lithium exposure and what they're going to do with that. We've had the US government talking about their need to create a little foothold in that market as well. So that's a pretty exciting space. It's been hot. We think that one will continue to be hot going forward.
Interesting around Orocobra. So, these sort of corporate transactions, changing of registers, mergers, acquisitions, etc., often create a short-term opportunity in share prices. So that's what we're looking for in Orocobre. Is there anything else aside from the emerging companies portfolio that's flagging you? What about international stuff? Give me one thing from the side.
Well, yeah, we heard about a small copper play out of Canada this morning. It's a green copper play. Talking up in Canada, they've done a big placement this week, and that one's ripped. So we're finding some sort of niche things where maybe ESG is playing into it, where you can find a foothold in a commodity or a stock or something where maybe not traditionally it's going to probably maybe hold its ground, but if it's got that ESG element as well, that could push on with it. So that's something we're keeping an eye out on the international spectrum as well.
Yep, so subscribers can, obviously, as we go into June 30, you can rest assured we're keeping an eye out for opportunities. We're digging a little deeper in the stocks and putting that out through our podcast series. We appreciate your feedback. A lot of people have been writing in about the videos that we're producing and the podcasts that we're doing, so we like that, and hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.